Hey everybody, it's still Friday, October 4th, and I feel like I had a full day already, because as you know, I participated in the 2019 World Taco Eating Championships, and I'm happy to report I beat one pro and one amateur, but they were 8 of the top eaters in the world, so I think I did pretty good. And now I've got lovely Anita, who is going in the same direction I'm going, because I have a speech tonight in Pasadena, so that's where I'm going now. And she's going in the same direction. I love these destination things because we're both going in the same direction. And Anita, well, she's all dolled up, looking great. She's from Norway, and she's going to a rehearsal for a wedding. Okay. Now, are you in the wedding?
In the wedding, in what sense?
In the wedding party, like best woman, bridesmaid.
Us Norwegians don't have a wedding.
Oh, it's a Norwegian wedding.
Yeah. So,
oh, okay.
It's a Norwegian friend.
A Norwegian friend.
An American man. And
okay.
Gets 3 bonus daughters and a whole family shebang and 2 cats.
Well, I tell a lot of Americans, don't marry an American woman.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Because I think for most of the countries they're better. Don't take offense, everybody, but I think American women are a lot of trouble.
Okay.
My wife's French, and you're from Norway, so you can't take offense to what I just said, so that's good.
Yeah, no
so tell me
whatsoever.
the difference between a Norwegian wedding and an American wedding.
Firstly, usually we don't have a rehearsal dinner at all.
Which you're having today?
So they're doing the American thing today, but they're doing the Norwegian thing, so they're doing all the speeches and everything kind of personal tomorrow for everyone to be part of. Because that's how we do it in Norway.
Okay.
Everyone listens to everything that's said and everyone is crying.
Now, how many people will speak at a Norwegian wedding? The family or what?
Yeah, usually maybe 5 to 7 people.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
Depending. Maybe someone has some cultural contribution or some poem or music or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long will a Norwegian wedding last? Long? Short?
Usually they will sit at table until like midnight.
Okay.
Then begin dancing and partying.
Till all the night?
Yeah.
How's your dancing skills?
Quite good actually,
Quite good?
but not ballroom dancing or anything.
Right.
I do hip hop, street dance, Afrobeat, dancehall, and a bit of contemporary.
I like swing.
Yeah,
I love swing.
That's cool as well.
Yeah. So is it your best friend getting married, or who is it?
Yeah, one of my best friends actually.
Okay. From Norway?
Yes.
And you both ended up in America? You came together? You happened to bump into each other here? What's the deal on that one?
She ended up here. I knew her from high school.
Okay.
She's the one friend I kept in touch with from my high school days, actually.
That's one more than me.
We bonded over fellow geekiness in our adult age.
Okay.
So now we're closer than we were back then. And I visit her as often as I can.
Okay.
I don't have that much vacation, but whenever I can and whenever...
So you work a lot?
I can, yeah.
Do you love your work?
I love my work.
Now, the only thing I know about you is that you're from Norway. No, I know 3 things about you. You're from Norway, you're a rehearsal dinner, and you are a psychologist?
Yes.
Or psychiatrist, which one?
Clinical psychologist and clinical sexologist.
A sexologist?
And character analyst.
What was the last one?
Character analyst.
Character analyst?
Yeah. It's
really?
In the traditional Wilhelm
Wow,
Reich.
maybe you could analyze my character here.
Maybe.
How about we analyze each other here? That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'll send you my invoice on Monday.
There you go. Well, I'll send you my invoice, you send me yours.
Great. See which one is higher.
But it's nice helping people, huh?
I love it.
And people need help.
A lot of people need help.
See, in my opinion, and you tell me when I'm wrong, or we can agree to disagree on some things. I'm sure we will in the next half hour or so. But because society is so crowded, and everywhere around the world, I believe it tends to breed a greedy, selfish, litigious society.
Yeah.
Like right now, no one cares about you and me on the road. Nobody, because they don't know us. So they'll honk at us, they'll run us off the road, they'll curse at us and flip us off. Because all we are is an obstacle in their way to get down to the road, to get to the red light, to make money, right? So I'm on a mission through my motivational speaking and my life coaching is to make people better people. Yeah. Because we're all inherently good, but we're caught up in a rat race, in a jungle, in these big cities. And so we lose track of humanity, of accountability. So at this dinner party that you're going to tomorrow, you're not going to shove someone aside to get to the dinner plate because you're accountable for your actions.
Of course.
Now, shouldn't we be accountable for our actions right now? Shouldn't we?
Yeah,
we should. So,
obviously.
a lot of motivational speakers, I haven't studied any of them, but I hear that a lot of them are telling you how to be successful in relation to making a lot of money.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that's the secret to happiness.
We don't have that focus in Norway much, at least.
I think the secret should be to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? So my motivation is going to be to try to make people better people. That'll make a better society. It'll make it more when people let you in. Imagine if everyone started letting you in. Do you drive?
Yeah, but
Do you notice
in Norway now we have ditched our cars in the Oslo area mostly. So I ditched my car 3 years ago and ditched my motorcycle this year. So now it's only like walking and taking like public transport.
Oh, do you live in Norway still?
Yeah.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah, I live
so
in
you came
Norway.
all the way here for the wedding?
I came here for the wedding.
Oh, welcome to America.
Thank you. I'm just here for like 12 days.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
First time, many
no,
times?
No. My sister lived in Arizona before, so I used to visit her like once a year. My friend has lived here for about 7 years, so this
is even more exciting.
Third time visiting her.
To come to America and see your best friend, to have a wedding, to do dance and have fun and live life, right? That's fantastic. So now you counsel, do you think Norwegians are healthier mentally?
I think as on a group level, I would dare to say yes.
Okay.
Kind of as a whole, as a population,
right?
You have a lot of individuals who struggle with a lot of the same things that they struggle with here.
It is the same problem
around
the world.
Yeah, and sometimes they find that they just feel empty and lack meaning and get like depressed, burnt out, and they don't know why, or they don't take the time to figure out why and how they can kind of, usually they work too much, play too little, laugh too little, spend too little time with their families and friends. And also I hear about a lot of bad sex that people are having, and they're actually
no sex.
Yeah, or no sex, and they're kind of having that, that outer focus that they get from all the selfies and social media and viewing themselves from the outside as an object. So also during sex, I kind of hear a lot about people not listening to their body's needs and not kind of taking their time and not getting into it properly. They end up hurting themselves and getting these really massive chronic pain conditions, etc. So
well, I think you're going to be making money for a long time, because
I think so too.
We're all mixed up.
I had to close my waiting list actually.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's closed. No one can wait for me for at least 1.5 years.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So, I don't know if it's fantastic. It's
for
maybe
you,
a dangerous side.
No, it's not fantastic for the society. No, but it's fantastic for your pocketbook.
Yeah, of course.
But I think one of the biggest problems is parenting. Now, you got to admit that all parents are amateurs who were raised by amateurs, who were raised by amateurs, who were raised by amateurs. Generation upon generation of amateurs. My theory is after 6 kids, you make less mistakes. But you make mistakes, and those mistakes in the first 5 years, even more so than anything else, are costly to them. But you love your kids, but you make mistakes. So now we teach them fear, and we teach them so many things that are not going to help them in their lives. There's like, follow the rules. Go to school, you'll never amount to anything. I worked with billionaires that didn't go to school. If you don't get married by 30, you're an old maid. I mean, there's so many fears that our parents put in our heads. See, I didn't have that luxury because I was orphaned at 11. So I had no parents to tell me bad stuff, which is, I guess, a blessing and a non-blessing, because I didn't have a lot of love. But I'm still the most positive person on the planet, even though I had a tough childhood,
We'll get some competition here.
So you're positive too?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a positive off. So as you know, there's a positive side to everything. Everything. The other day I spilled my energy drink. These aren't really healthy, but I'm losing my energy right now because all those tacos in there are sapping all my energy to digest. So I spilled it inside by accident, and there was a lot of stuff in there, and that was unfortunate. So then I started thinking, what's the positive about that accident? You know what the positive is? I didn't drink my energy drink, which are healthy. They're unhealthy. So that's the positive side, right?
It's a positive.
Now, a lot of people get in the car here and they say, I'm late, and they're all frustrated, and Of course, everyone's late, by the way. You're not late, right?
Not usually.
Not usually. Never be late. Anyway, so they get in, they say they're late, they're frustrated. I said, well, that's the bad news. But the good news, there's people wanting me to work. Oh my goodness, it's so terrible. This is my limousine company. I have a limousine company. I have all kind of different companies. But I said, well, if you weren't late, you wouldn't have met me, right? If the person wasn't late, they wouldn't have met me. Now, one of my sayings, and you might agree with this, is life is a series of left and right turns. Every day you're going to turn left and you're going to turn right. I tell people, you must look at every turn you make as the correct one. When you do that, you're going to get confidence in your decision making. With that confidence, you're going to have success in life and then hopefully happiness in life. But you must believe that you made the right turn, the correct turn. And these are all simple things. See, everything I say is simple. It's not based on, philosophies from this, because, even if you look at a Bible or you look at the best studies on the best brains like Freud and Einstein, a lot of people didn't agree with them. So there's a lot of things not to agree with. So I'm just going by my own intuition, my own common sense, and going my way, because I'm not going to study someone else's behavioral methods, because that's theirs.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now, but you went to school in Norway, I imagine.
Yes.
What was the school called?
University of Oslo.
Oslo. Is that where you live now?
It's where I live.
That's the big city. That's the capital.
It's on the
How many
fjord.
people in Oslo?
600,000 about. So
Wow, it's small.
it's our biggest city. So
there's 10 million here, in Los Angeles.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Do you know this freeway here? It's called the 405 freeway.
yeah, I know.
It's the busiest freeway in the world.
I know. I've been stuck here for
You've been
some
stuck here.
hours before, so that's why
Now, another of my
I called you
theories-
a bit earlier than usual.
I want you to contradict everything I say that you don't agree with, okay? Because I like to hear contradictions, not agreements.
Yeah.
My theory is never let circumstances out of your control affect your behavior. Right now, we have no control over this freeway, so we can't let it upset us.
Yeah.
You have no control over me being rude, so you can't let it upset you. You have no control over the weather, so how could it affect you? Correct?
Sometimes you have to let stuff affect you, though. The last time I was in LA,
Okay,
3
tell me
years
why.
ago, on my flight here, I had a kidney failure.
Okay.
So I ended up spending a lot of time in hospitals while staying here.
Okay.
And if I kind of did the best I could, and I stayed positive, actually, because that's what I do.
That's
but
what
at
you
the
do,
same time,
exactly.
it kind of sucked. So not letting it affect me at all
Okay.
would have been kind of denying natural feelings that you get from kind of your body.
Well, that's what I
being,
get from psychologists. We have to accept the negative sometimes, right?
Yeah, or accepting that it's not. I think it's very black and white to call it just positive or negative. So I don't talk about feelings as positive or negative at all.
Okay.
I talk about them as complicated and put together by many different things and different. You can think different things about them. You can interpret them a different way. Use them for different stuff. Sometimes you can act on them. Other times not. So noticing whatever comes in every direction with every layer that is in a feeling. Say, for instance, the feeling melancholy.
Okay.
It's a super complicated thing where there are layers that feel kind of good and you want to indulge in it, but if it's kind of not woohoo, but still a little intriguing and kind of evokes maybe some connection with nature, maybe in the fall, sitting out in the forest, feeling that melancholy. So calling stuff positive or negative, that doesn't really.
Well,
I think it doesn't capture the complexity of human experience. So.
And you're more than likely right about that, but I don't even like the word negative. I mean, I tell people do not associate with negative people.
No, I don't use.
And don't think negatively, because they're cancerous. Both those things are cancerous. And a lot of people say the glass is half full or half empty, right? Well, I've mixed it up. I think the glass is either full or it's empty. Because if you're negative, you can't just be partially negative, and you should never be negative. I don't know what negative does by any means for me to make my life better. I can't imagine what negative does to make my life any better.
No, me neither.
Okay, so
like on my
I
travel
don't consider
this time, a lot of my stuff got damaged on the way.
Okay.
So I had to deliver stuff to repair when I got here,
Right.
and my SIM card didn't work. I didn't have a phone. I had to buy a temporary American SIM card.
Right.
But all of those things compared to my body failing, and I had to remove that kidney.
Right.
So I've had some interesting years. But anyway, all the things that happened on this travel this time, in comparison, were like a little peanut. So I was like, yes.
So let's get back to the kidney failure trip.
Yeah, sure.
What positive, like for me, maybe you met a doctor that you fell in love with. Maybe you had the most interesting conversation ever. What positive can you grab from the kidney problem?
A lot of positive things, actually.
Okay, name a couple.
I think I got to know my body even better. I thought I knew my body a lot from before. I did lots of yoga, dancing, breathing. I work within a body-oriented framework at work, so I kind of had a really positive outlook on my body before.
Right.
After, I'm so impressed by what it can do.
That's good.
And it kept healing in all these weird turns and managed all these new things. So I had to adjust for some positions in yoga that I couldn't do yet after surgery.
Oh, okay.
But then suddenly I managed other things that I thought I could never do. So the body just keeps surprising me.
Yeah.
Also, I had to start living even more healthy than I used to.
So there you go.
That's a positive.
Lots of
I
positives.
don't drink alcohol.
Oh, you don't drink alcohol
No.
anymore? Okay.
And I have to make all food from scratch, no processed foods whatsoever.
Really? Because of the
Low
loss of the because you only have one kidney,
Yeah, one kidney.
and so you have to treat it better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Low blood pressure.
Oh.
Physically active every day with something, so
Okay.
I move my body a lot. No painkillers. Yeah, low sodium.
So a whole different regimen because you
Yeah.
have one less kidney.
Yeah. So all
How
in
much does a
all,
kidney? How much does a kidney weigh?
I know about 200 grams maybe.
So you lost some weight too.
I did. Actually, I did. You can even see it when you see in the mirror. I am a bit skinnier.
It's a bit skinnier.
Just a little.
One less kidney, you know. It's
yeah,
like you're a bit skinnier. That's good. That's fantastic.
So, it is fantastic.
Well, I'm having the time of my life introducing mostly the positivities. Let me show you something here. The movement is called Be Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Hold on here. Let me see if I can get some paperwork here.
Be fantastic.
Be Fantastic. And there is, if you can find the logo here, all this paperwork here. Well, there's the B.
Yeah.
I don't know where she went there. The big B, there she is. It says Be Fantastic.
Of course.
And what does the bee? What does the bee symbolize? The bee symbolizes pollinating positivity, being positive about everything that happens, and then life is better that way, right?
I think so.
I think so too. That's what I'm going with anyway. It's a mess here. So you are off to the. And you're gonna spend the night out here? You think?
No, I'm going to go back in the evening and then going back again for the wedding tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend the whole next week hanging out with the bride because then she will have more time for me.
Right, exactly.
So,
She's probably a little busy today, right?
Yeah, of course. Nerves.
How old is the bride?
She's 40.
Is it her first marriage?
Yes.
Her first marriage at
First
40?
marriage.
And how old's the man?
I guess he's the same age.
Same age? An American?
Yes, an American.
Okay.
With 3 daughters.
Oh, his second marriage or third?
That's his second marriage.
Second marriage, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Now, are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Okay. So she beat you to it? She beat you to it?
I'm not interested actually.
You don't want to get married?
No. I have 2 cats and I have some relationships.
Okay. Yeah, marriage isn't for everybody.
I'm polyamorous.
Kids aren't for everybody.
So I have different partners.
What did you say it was?
I'm polyamorous, so I have
Polyamorous?
Polyamorous, like you have.
I've never heard that word.
Okay, in a consensual and ethical and open way, you have more than one romantic or sexual partner at the same time, and they all know about each other and they respect.
That's been called honesty,
other,
which is fantastic.
And want the same thing.
Right.
So. Right
Polyamorous.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
P-O-L-I and amorous?
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's a mix-up
fantastic to
because-
hear.
yeah.
Is that a Danish or
I think
is it an American term? I never heard it.
it is an American. It was coined here in America in the 1990s.
Because the Mormons have their thing.
Yeah,
and that's something wholly different.
that's not
That's
the same.
just for the guys.
Yeah.
The guys could have a lot of women.
This is
Well,
all about equality and everyone.
I
doing
love
the same
learning
thing.
something new every day.
Yeah,
So now I
good
know
for you.
polyamorous.
Yeah.
And so you have 2 lovers
Yeah,
or more.
or I can
Or
do
more.
kind of whatever if
Whatever you
I feel
want,
like
yeah.
it, and then I tell
That's
the
a
others
wonderful
about it,
way.
and we have,
Everybody, take it from this young lady here. She's got it going on.
Yeah, and I
she's-
have 2 cats.
And 2 cats.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you about cats. You like cats, right? You're
I
a cat
love
lover.
cats.
Do you know who Pope Gregory the IX was?
You can tell me about it, maybe?
He,
Do you have cats?
well, actually, that's the moral of the story. Pope Gregory the IX thought cats were the devil's worship.
Oh,
So he ordered the extinction of all the cats.
really?
And they killed all the cats. And what happens when you kill all the cats? All the rats
Yeah,
come
of
out.
course.
And with the rats came the fleas and the Black Plague. And that's where the question, how are you, comes from.
Yeah.
Comes from the Black Plague. How are you? You'd scream to your friend. And they either yelled back they were well or they had it.
Yeah.
And that's the only two answers. And today everyone says good. In Norway, what are they, greeting another human being, what do they say?
In Norway, you say hello or hi. And if people say how are you, you actually reply in detail about
So
how you
you
are.
take it literally.
Yes, we do. So
So-
that's a cultural thing. If you haven't been to the States a lot as a Norwegian, and people here ask you all the time, how are you? They
Right.
will actually say, oh, you know, not too bad.
Well, in America, nobody cares to hear the answer.
I know they don't.
And they don't have time to hear the answer.
Yeah, I
Now, there
know.
are 2 countries that I know of where they don't say, how are
We
you?
take the time, though. We do take
That's
the time.
nice.
If we ask, we take the
You
time.
guys
to
have been
hear.
around a lot longer
Yeah.
than Americans. But 2 countries that I happen to know of is Korea and China, and they say, how was your meal, or have you eaten?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
As a
yeah,
greeting,
Yeah.
which because they had a food problem in the old days. But to say how are you, I hate the question because it's useless and it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
But
To us, it means a lot. We don't
well,
ask
if
it
you
every day,
mean it, it
but
means a
then
lot.
We mean it, and we take the time.
But Americans
to
don't,
listen.
for the most part, don't mean it. They just do not mean it.
Yeah.
It's just a greeting. In France, it's ça va, how
Yeah,
are
I
you?
know.
In Mexico, it's que tal. In Germany, it's wie geht's. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. So I've come up with a better answer.
Okay.
And this answer makes you feel great when you say it, makes you look great when you say it, and makes you live longer every time you say it.
Okay.
Because you know we can't change the question, but we can change the answer. Right? Try it. Say, I am fantastic.
Yeah, I'm fantastic.
How's that feel?
Yeah, I
Doesn't
know.
that feel good?
I know.
Well, yeah, and you feel it, and you are, right?
Yeah.
But, so a lot of people feel fantastic, but very few people say it. And when you say it, it releases the endorphins, the dopamine, the serotonin, make you look great. A smile makes you look great, makes you feel great, like you just felt, and makes you live 5 minutes longer. Did you know it makes you live 5 minutes longer?
I say it a lot actually at home to myself. So there you go.
Well, you're going to be a fantastic person because I'm Dr. Fantastic, and
Yeah.
I just gave you the prescription for a happier and longer life because you're going to live 5 minutes longer every time you say the word fantastic.
Okay.
Do you know why?
No, why?
Because it reduces stress.
Yeah.
When you reduce stress, whenever you laugh or smile, you reduce stress, and it makes you healthier. Because you.
Lots of other stuff to kind of reduce stress.
Oh yeah,
and-
sex
and
relieves
laugh.
stress.
Yeah, yeah. And
Being
also
early relieves stress.
doing fun stuff. Like I
Doing fun stuff?
I design costumes. So right now.
Oh,
I'm
you
working
design
on a
costumes?
Crazy project.
Really?
So I
For whom?
For myself this time, actually.
Okay.
So
For like Halloween and stuff like that?
No. This is for the day-to-day use. So I use a lot of.
Well, you said costume.
Yeah,
You mean, I don't think you mean
or-
costume. In America, that means something silly like a Joker or a Queen.
Yeah. Sometimes I
So
do
you
both.
mean,
Like this time, it's the project I have now. It's a proper garment, but many people would never dare to wear it. It's sort of wacko. It has a kind of a layered message where
Well,
kind of all the I have a anti-Trump demonstration all around the bottom edge of a winter coat,
Okay.
and then I have lots of like factories and nuclear explosions and stuff, and then nature comes and kind of pops through and
Really? I'd love to see
wins
it.
the
You have a
day.
picture of it?
No, not yet. It's not
Oh,
done, but I
okay.
can send you one
Well,
when
see,
it's done.
here's what I want. See,
So I have fun. I sit and laugh
You have to have
right
fun in
now
life.
I'm hand stitching a nuclear explosion, and I'm thinking, I'm feeling in harmony.
Okay.
Hand stitching a nuclear explosion. How normal is it? I don't care.
Right.
I have fun.
So
Listen
you
to
are.
great music.
Give me 5. You're fantastic. See, the thing is, destiny brought us together.
Okay.
Because it took me 65 years of left and right turns to meet you today, and it took you 35 or whatever you are to get here to meet me today.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Now, the way the connection I'm seeing now is when I do my speeches, I've been wearing very ethereal outfits.
Yeah.
No, because I want to go barefoot my rest of my life. I don't want to suit and tie is not for me.
Yeah, good
So I
policy.
I want a very pleasing outfit. So maybe you can design an outfit for me.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to show you a
Depends on what
picture of what I look like. Like today, I have 2 outfits. One is white and one is black, and they're both very comfortable pants and a very flowing shirt.
Yeah.
The white shirt is longer, and this black shirt today is shorter. And it's just comfortable, but I think it gives, when I give someone a motivational speech, it gives them relaxation not to see me in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Follow me?
Yeah,
It's not strict.
Yeah.
It's flowing. So I want an outfit or outfits plural, that give that message of peace, love, and happiness, and kindness. You get it?
I get it. I have kind of
So you wanna
my
be-
own style at work as well. So,
So you can be my costume designer.
if I have time, time is
It's all about time.
everything.
Time is everything.
Right now, I have to make sure I finish my own project first before the cold sets in Norway.
That's my saying. You come first.
I do.
You must come first. Always. Not your lovers, not your family.
I know.
You.
Yeah,
And then, because if you can't be happy, how can you make anyone else happy?
that is right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I met the smartest woman in Norway, and you did too. And she's got it going on. Remind me that name is?
Anita?
No, Anita, not your name. The name for having more lovers.
Oh, polyamorous.
Polyamorous. I'm going to have to remember that, because that's what I learned today. Beautiful women should be polyamorous.
Yeah, at least if they feel like it. If
Of
they
course.
feel like being monogamous, they should be monogamous.
Of course.
But I think
But the problem with society is no one can be honest. That's the problem with the dating sites. You show a picture of yourself 10 years ago, 100 pounds lighter, and that's putting on a facade.
Yeah.
You got to be honest with yourself, because I tell people, not everyone's going to love you. You can't expect everyone to love you.
No.
You just need one person, or in your case, 2 or 3 to love you. And as long as you're honest, and they probably date other girls, and everybody's happy, and everybody's honest, and that's the secret to happiness, is to be honest. Because if you lie, you have to remember your lies, and I can't remember lies, so I never lie.
Yeah.
You know,
Many people struggle with monogamy as well, and then they end up cheating and lying.
Exactly.
So I think it would be really good for society if people had an actual choice,
Polyamorous.
like some information about, this is also a way you could live if you feel like it. And
we just introduced it to America.
and then you could choose
Polyamorous.
monogamy consciously also, if that is for you.
Of course,
But it's not huge in America.
Write
so
that down for me.
You know,
Polyamorous.
in America, you have at least, you've heard of Dan Savage, right?
Have what?
You've heard of Dan Savage.
Dan Savage.
Yeah, he's a columnist in The Stranger. He has a column called Savage Love.
Okay, no.
He's had it for many, many years.
Okay.
And I know that he writes really kind of openly about all
Yeah, that
topics
doesn't
about sexuality,
there's no
and
S
also
there.
like
There's no-
polyamory.
Polyamory.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, but anyway, so he
Sorry.
in his column he is kind of LGBTQI plus friendly and poly friendly as well, and has been for years. So it's not like a new concept here in the US.
Well, that's
either.
called
But I
being
think-
single and dating.
Yeah, no, actually they call it polyamory here, but I think maybe it's more known in some communities than others. So maybe the broader population.
Well, I mean, I've been
haven't
around
heard about it
65
at all.
years, and I
Yeah.
haven't heard about it. So
Oh,
this
about
is.
time then.
I was
About
just saying the
time.
other day how women, if
Yeah.
you're honest, and you want to have one more than lover, I mean, if you just and they can't handle it, then they can't handle it, and they're not right for you.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Just one girl was telling me how she has a real dilemma because she's in love with two guys right now.
Yeah.
And one guy corrected himself.
Mm.
But I said, the reason he corrected himself is because you did the takeaway. You broke up with him.
Yeah.
So he only corrected himself to get you back. He's going to go back to the same way, right? Because he didn't change. People don't change, right? So I said, this new guy I think is better for you, but she should be I wish I'd known about polyamory before. I would have said,
maybe she
tell them,
wouldn't have to choose. Maybe she could have
could
both.
just say, listen, I'm polyamorous. But you said polyamorous, which is being polyamory, I guess, right? Is
Yeah,
that
the
way it works?
polyamory is like it's the noun.
The science of
but,
it.
Yeah, but then you can be polyamorous, but not. Some people have it as almost like an identity, so it's very important for them in
Right.
their identity.
Now there's a club that's
but
polyamory club.
Yeah, there are, but I don't feel like I need it. I have lots of poly friends. So,
You know about swingers clubs, right?
yeah, of course, but
That's
that's not something I like.
That's just sex.
Yeah.
That's just plain sex.
That's not
But you have
something-
feelings behind you.
Yeah.
You're in love with a couple people. How can to have more than one love? I think that's pretty fantastic too.
You know, how many do you think there's room for? Like,
There's probably room for a lot.
I think so.
A lot.
Yeah. Depends on who you meet.
Well,
and
so let me
on
ask you:
luck.
in your dreams, I don't dream myself, but do you dream of having 30 lovers?
I wouldn't have time or energy.
Exactly, time.
So no, I don't.
Yeah.
Actually.
Time is the big thing right
I
there. Because just having some good friends is a lot of time.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I appreciate my friends a lot,
Yeah.
and some of them
It takes
are.
time. It takes a lot of time to have
very
it.
important for me.
Yeah, because
and,
you can't call a friend once a year,
no.
right? You have to call them all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So that's love, also.
Well, I hope everyone's listening because you're learning a lot today about relationships, about being honest, about being kind, and accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
See, when you're polyamory, you're being honest and you're being accountable for your actions. And if your partner agrees with it, everyone's happy. You got to make everyone happy, and and never lie.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're doing good here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
And we're having a good ride to the valley.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank this lovely lady for coming to America and sharing her knowledge and her wisdom with me. And I hope we can stay in touch and maybe one day do a podcast or something maybe. When we do this.
We could.
You know, I love podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, you can talk to anyone in the world all the time. I do a radio show once a month.
Okay.
And I love talking to psychiatrists and psychologists and scientists and inventors because it's all about improving the mind, the body, or the planet. And everybody, it's on the third Tuesday of every month at 2 p.m. at healthylife.net. It's all a bunch of doctors and things. It's good.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Anita, thank you for participating.
All
Be
right.
fantastic, everybody. How are you?
Fantastic.
She's fantastic. That's great. That's fantastic.